Hey everybody, you usually don't get to see this if you're not watching live, but during the break I chat with the Ustream audience. Kate and I chat with the Ustream audience here about the chat on the website. So this is usually not included in the videos, but this time it will be. I just started a recording for YouTube.
Fine.
So one person says unschooling with a exclamation point. Renee dropped a powerful S-bomb. Somebody also comments. I wish I had Renee as a school teacher way back in the day. I agree. I think we're coming back. Hold on a second.
Okay.
No, still more break. Unschooling can mean anything. This is another. This is from Sarah. Unschooling can mean anything as long as it is what the learner desires to learn. Could be a classroom experience if that meets the needs of the learner. That's exactly what I was saying. I think I know this Sarah. She's a super fan of the show.
Yeah, I agree with
Next
that.
person says, I completely agree with Sarah, just like you just said, Kate.
Yep.
And then she says, climbing ropes and taking the presidential fitness test.
Yeah.
I think that's what she's referring to.
I mean, some people think climbing ropes is fun.
Sure. Some people think it's terrifying and horrifying, but they all have to do it.
It's true, but the people that think it's fun should be able to.
All right, we're coming back, everyone. We'll be back.
It's a long-distance call, so make sure you're familiar with your phone's calling plan. The Liberty Radio Network listen lines are locked on our stream 24 hours a day. Call 760-569-7753. That's 760-569-7753.
I've been told no.
Oh, well, we're not coming back. I really have to get a stopwatch so I can learn the timing of these breaks. One more Ustreamer says, everything she just said is getting worse as a result of No Child Left Behind and central standardization of methodologies. I kind of agree with that, right? But No Child Left Behind was just a repackaging, I believe, of outcome-based education. And outcome-based education was just a repackaging of, like, straight-up parrot-in-a-box behaviorism. No, not a parrot in a box. Rat in a box.
Ooh.
Pigeon in a box. Behaviorism. Right? Skinner box. I mean, that's what school is, pretty much.
I mean, not all schools. Some schools are cool.
Government school.
And good.
Some schools are cool.
Some schools are good.
I think Sudbury is fine.
I think there's a charter school that's good.
Oh,
Take
this is
that.
our last segment. We're going to have to talk about
Fine.
that.
I think there's a charter school that's good. Take that.
We're not fighting.
Yeah, we are.
All right, we're coming.
On the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Which one?
Okay, let me give it.
Sure. Hey, everybody, this is Brett. Welcome back to School Sucks Live. My guest tonight has been Kate Baker. This is our last segment.
Happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you, Kate. We've had a good time. Kate is going to be the new executive director of, give us the organization one time.
Network for Educational Opportunity, and you can go to networkforeducation.org to get more information about what we're doing.
Excellent. And this is something that, for the record, we've kind of maybe been a little bit vague on this, but this is something that I support.
Thank you.
I know where Kate stands, and I know what Kate's trying to do. And Kate saves kids.
Aw, thanks.
So,
I like kids, and I like education and teaching.
Yeah.
I have some fun times with doing things like that, and I think that kids should be an environment that's enriching for them, an environment that their parents choose for them, because parents know their kids best. Again, I'm going to say that again. Parents know their kids best.
Now,
are in the best possible position to choose their children's education.
Okay.
And I think that because I've worked with groups of parents who have also started schools for their, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm not just talking about parents saying, you know, this, that, or the other. I mean, these are people that really get what I'm talking about. People really get it.
Okay,
Parents
so
get it.
repeat that line about parents again, because I want to make sure
Parents are in the best possible position to choose what education is right for their child.
meaning that they're in a better position than anyone else.
They're in the best possible position, yes.
If they have to choose a school,
Or homeschooling.
okay.
They are the best ones to make those determinations.
So the comment,
Where a child should go to school.
So the comment in the chat was a little bit of a misstatement then. It says,
Okay.
the position that parents know what's best for their children is patently absurd.
I would stand by that too.
I don't. You see,
I mean, I would totally, as I would say that parents are in the best possible position to make decisions for their children, too.
okay, so parents, I think parents know better. Thoughtful parents. Because we agree, there are terrible parents. There are nightmarish parents. There are, these evangelicals.
I mean, I mean, that's not up to me.
No,
What
I'm not saying it
someone's
should be up to
religion
me.
is not up to me, whether
No.
they're teaching their child that or not.
I'm not saying
I mean,
I
how
want-
dare I presume that I know better than someone else, frankly.
And I'm not recommending like that the state get involved in that situation.
Of course you would never recommend
No,
that, but
of
I'm
course.
just saying, how dare I presume that I know better than someone for their own children?
Sure. Now,
I would never presume to know
I
better.
understand the argument, but I also think that to say,
It's not an argument. I mean, it's a fact. I know what's best for my own kids.
better than anybody else.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I would never presume to know better than another parent for their own children.
Sure, and that's fine, and I think that's fair. But what I'm saying is there's a slight difference here, knowing what is actually best for them.
I mean, what you think is best, or, I mean...
Right. So raising them with love and with respect and with
Clearly.
compassion and
I mean,
without
clearly.
psychological terrorism
I mean,
of
clearly.
extreme religious views. Right?
I don't know.
So like the famous idiot, Bill-Maher, one time, host of Real Time with Bill-Maher.
He's funny.
Once, he can be. I mean, he's kind of a hack.
I thought he was funny.
But
before.
one time he had a great line written for him that he delivered very competently. And the line was, people always say, I can't talk about parenting because I don't have any children.
I mean,
he
I
said-
disagree.
He said, I don't have any fish, but I know you're not supposed to put Mountain Dew in the tank.
Ooh.
Right?
That's
and
a
I
good
thought,
one.
yeah, I thought
Okay.
that was a great
I mean, that's a
line.
good one.
Now, there are people out there.
But if you think you know better than somebody does about their own child, then aren't you doing the same thing that the government's doing?
No, because they're forced. I'm not saying, like, I might know better, but I'm not going to force my will. Like, I might know better I will say right now, I've seen people in my family do things with kids where I face palmed. And like, I wanted to say,
Right.
please don't do that again. Even like, don't say because I said so. Don't threaten kids
I
with
mean,
time
if it's
out.
sometimes
because-
it's funny.
but it's not good
that.
for kids.
Okay,
So
I agree with you.
I know in that situation, I know what's better for that child than apparently they do. But I can't do anything about it. If I was the government, I would pull out a gun or at least start waving a gun around. You know, like, oh, this isn't here to actually like shoot you. It's just kind of here to get you to do what I want you to do. You know, like, oh, don't. And I just start waving it in front of them like, oh, you really shouldn't say, because I said so. Well, I'm waving a gun around. Then I'm more like the government.
I still think parents are better at choosing a school or educational environment than, say, you being assigned to your geographic public school that you're assigned to.
Oh, sure. Then
Okay.
strange people with beards and sweater vests at the University of Illinois
Yes.
Education Department
Yes.
who haven't
But
worked.
Not
5
everyone
minutes.
agrees with us on that, you know. I mean, my view is kind of radical. I mean, to you, my view sounds very moderate, but my view is kind of radical that parents should choose their children's school is a radical view.
But I'm so much closer.
Education experts, in a lot of instances, people think should choose the children's school.
Sure. But what I'm saying is, like, I think it's something.
Parents are education experts.
What I'm hoping is
That's where I'm at.
in the idealistic sense, I'm hoping that the conversation evolves beyond just resigning ourselves to, oh, well, that's their kids, right? Because that's what people say. This is how people talk themselves out of intervening when they see a human being physically abused.
Okay, can I tell you a little short story?
But let me just
Fine.
finish this point.
Okay.
So when people like see a child being abused by a parent,
I mean, I make a noise, but
most people don't do anything because they say, "Oh, that's their child."
oh,
Like, they like it's their property, and I hope that the discussion about children and families and parenting and education can evolve beyond children as property.
fine.
You know, where someday we do say that the kind of standards that we have for adults, like it's not okay to beat up an adult who does something that you don't
Yeah.
like, would also apply to human beings that are just smaller
I
and
think
younger.
that respect is a big part of what's missing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
I agree with you.
That's all I'm not trying to obviously impose my will or say that I know what's best for everybody. Maniacs say stuff like that. Homeless people with sandwich, like who are out of their minds with sandwich signs on, screaming at trees. That's what I always say. I say, if you find some crazy person yelling and accosting people on the street and saying, I know what's best for you and I know what's best for everybody. If you just put a suit on them and gave them a sedative, you'd have a presidential candidate. You would.
Can I tell you a story now?
Yeah.
Okay. I used to help, work with parents in that support group for gifted children.
Right.
And again, I'm not going to take a position where I know the right answer for a family, but people would come and tell me these stories of what would happen to their children in the school that they were in. And there was a woman that came to the meeting and she said, every morning when I try to bring my child to school, they cry. Every day when I bring them to school because they don't like it and they say the other kids are mean to them and they come home. And she would tell me this for it was about a week and then it was another week and then it was another week. And I said, finally, listen, maybe the kid is right. Maybe they really don't like it and the other kids are mean. Have you considered just not bringing the kid to the school? And this was a revolutionary idea to the parent that because the child was having such a difficult time every day crying, not wanting to go, feeling upset about going, it was revolutionary to the parent that they should not maybe consider not bringing the child there.
Yeah.
And I shared that information with a lot of people. I mean, people would have difficulties and I would say, well, have you considered just not bringing them there anymore and trying to look for a different type of thing to do, either homeschooling or a different school or something different instead of, but sometimes the parents would accept it, or at least for a little while, they would continue to bring the child there even if they were really upset every day, instead of looking for an option or something like that. What?
I like that story.
Well, it's real.
I just realized this whole time we had Renee on hold.
Oh, I'm sorry, Renee.
Hey, Renee.
No, it's fine. No, I was listening. I was taking it all in.
Hey, we're about to run out of time here in less than 1 minute. So I wanted to thank you very much for your input tonight. And I do hope that you will, as you continue to listen to the show, you'll give us a call in the future because I would love to hear from you again, and I'd like to get updates on what's going on in these schools.
Yes, no problem. I'll totally update you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Have a good night. Sorry I forgot about you there.
Yes. No, you are fine. Have a great night.
You too. And Kate.
Yes.
What a wonderful night it has been. I've enjoyed this very much.
I'm glad I had fun too.
You did?
Yeah, totally.
All right. You want to give us your website one more time?
Sure. Network for Educational Opportunity. It's www.networkforeducation.org. People can find out what we're up to.
Excellent.
Helping families find good education for their kids.
Super. And you guys are going to hear from Kate on this show again in the future. So we do a little thing called the after show. I'm going to let Kate go home, and I'm going to pick up our friend Brian Hagan down in Kansas, and we're going to explore some interesting semi-educational to non-educational topics from about 12:15 to who knows when. So stick with us. If you're on LRN, jump over to Ustream, schoolsucksproject.com/live, and we'll be getting started with that very soon. Thank you very much for listening to the regular show. Have a good night, and take care.
Agents of the state are